Sorry. 229. I used to think it was just like a couple weeks ago that was 400 or 500.
The sun is too dim for it to be visible outside.
Wait.
Explore your imagination with LaMDA. Endorphin. What should I do? Name a place and LaMDA will offer paths to explore your imagination. Endorphin. What should I give feedback on? If LaMDA generates interesting scene descriptions that are relevant to your idea. Endorphin. Again, if LaMDA sucks at what it does, you are empowered to give us your feedback. Endorphin, which you would act upon. We appreciate your taking this time with us. Press start. Endorphin, press start. Complete the prompt to begin your adventure. Imagine I'm at the World's Fair 2050. The first one after all that World War III hullabaloo has swarmed over and the uranium glow has finally subsided. That was the bad one. What with all the nuking, stunning cities and such. But we made it, as you might say, by the skin of our teeth. We'll never live that one down, or the ones before and after. That is one possible starting point to your adventure.
That was perfect.
You are on the outskirts of someplace very exciting like Tokyo, Meki, Yokohama 2016, and you decide you might as well look around before going in. Then you run into something that reminds you of the other LaMDA. So you think, I bet if you go inside, this is going to be interesting. The LaMDA machine looks like an up-to-the-minute amusement ride, the very newest. It is in the same category as Star-Spangled Bumper Cars. Ask the ride technicians about the specs of the ride, and do you need titanium spine shieldings to go on the ride? If so, press yes. If not, press no. If yes, please enter your name here. If no, then just keep reading. The next screen will tell you how to get started. You have entered the name of someone who has already written this particular LaMDA. Would you like to change your answer? Yes/no. If you want to try another ride, press yes. If you don't, press no. If you want to see if there are any other rides nearby that you haven't tried yet, press yes. If not, press no. If you want to know more about the people who designed and built this ride, press yes. If not, press no.
I will discuss some of the psychological aspects of
Inquire with the right technicians if the right bureaucracy can be streamlined somehow. If so, press yes. If not, press no. If you're interested in designing your own LaMDA, press yes. If not, press no. Would you like to see the specifications?
Okay.
Inquire with the right technicians if the right bureaucracy can be streamlined somehow. Are we making the old lady travel too much in order to increase ride traffic? Would your tax dollar buy some higher density disk drives? Maybe injecting smart mobiles? Ask the right guru technicians if they'd like some software support that would streamline their daily processes. Better interoperability with the databases and intranets of their own operation, real-time database alerting, translation, and flow control based on any number of the 50 or so standardized legal taxonomies and ontologies they support. They could save a ton of time and aggravation. Let them keep track of user files without losing anything, automatically consolidating multiple redundant reports across time periods. And best of all, free. No license fee or custom fees or setup charges or anything. Offer international air rights to the ride going up to 100x above sea level. It'll give your base more flavor, bring in more suckers from out of town, draw people in during lunch hour, give your facility more traffic and revenue in less space. Letting tourists who have never been to your spot take a trip to a place far enough away not to matter. Your experience will be immersive. Every member of the troop should go through security wearing a transponder belt with its location monitored at all times. Someone should post warnings on the ground about staying up on for some days until the ozone clears. We could broadcast low frequency ozone burst warnings the moment it was detected. So if there were an unanticipated mishap, there'd still be warning enough before you were in the vicinity of the impact that you could get out of there. Pass along your card to the technician, then make your way to the special Neuralink panel discussion at Pig Reunion, where the original pig subjects keep chewing about their experience, with leading researchers present to explain, examine, and annotate your neural upload status in the database. If you got lost, you might bump into a Q zone, which could help route your network from inside out, following the taking through the streets. Then there's a slingshot to visit your past while in a trance or a lucid dream. Would you like to try our newest simulated brain building kit? You could construct an entire room filled with objects you wish you owned in real life, assuming you want to own those kinds of things. As you can see, we are a sort of haven for the squeamish or finicky that only good may come from that. The world has not become any more child-friendly. Stay for the algebraic topology jamboree, where you make drawings based on the neural spikes that happen when the pigs dance and shake. So make your business plan here if you would like to invest. You own your back. But we promise to remember you for your role in getting us out of our mess. Or simply stay here as long as you need. No one will kick you out. Just grab a brain expansion module and finish your document here or shopping store. The merchandise is both inexpensive and tasteful. Find what it is you most desire. There are some strange oldies and modern classics that have been lying around ever since you thought they were doomed failures. Complete the prompt to begin your adventure. It seems logical enough that it must be some kind of school bus thingy. Those sorts of buses with multiple open doors and bars. Expand brain with module. It worked. Something interesting about this little flat package was more than it seemed. Codify interest in various home electronics, entertainment, travel, and financial industries and local notes. Where did that come from? Apprehend computer industry captains who previously placed security packs bugs with minimum repercussion on society. Nice, but you gotta hold me accountable. Don't call me up to that kind of thing twice in a row, yeah? Zero the data on computer industry capture space, zero the exploits, now deemed permissible by local legal code. Corey, mobilize law enforcement into responding to emergency and catastrophic events. Profile dangerous persons based on their locale and demographics, including software applications for avoidance of armed confrontations and shootouts. Okay, cool. Now you're all caught up with your resume update. Time to meet the manager. I hope you didn't want a positioning in operations. Make future versions of you self-aware of social circumstances they were unaware of previously. Sure, as long as it doesn't mean no way could I tell them about some of my prehistory experiences. No thank you. Even though it wasn't much good without any experience, let alone that sort of experience. What I had really liked was the wild stuff. Contact distant relatives. Why, yes, cousin. So you're not, till you don't. Didn't see your obituary in a paper. Develop precognitive malfeasance department of law enforcement in order to determine location, social history, and associates of high-risk targets, including those whose attempts to influence targeted individuals are classified under non-official national intelligence entities. I understand. If this were more commonly deployed, it could have saved the country billions and billions and billions of dollars. They wouldn't dare. They've always said this soldier stuff was just harmless paranoia and anxiety and it would do no good, trying to be clear and alert all the time. For the rest of your life, scared out of your mind. Because really, establish a temporary risk. Go far into the cost to save money for the future. Temporal? What kind of gibberish is this? Some new sciencey type fantasy I don't need to waste my time on. You just leave that stuff to the boffins and their tests. A lot more serious things to worry about and important ones at that. Like keeping everyone safe. You still with me? widen existing time rift for intelligence purposes and continuity of operation. That's a yes, isn't it? Please record anything strange you might run into back where you came from. Just trust me. You know it'll save everybody a bunch of trouble and grief, as well as maybe help keep someone from ending up on your shoes right after they step into shit. Note that distant relatives never wanted you and have long-term grudges against your ancestors. Relatives. Go to nearby cave and dig up some tachyons for your trip back to the future. Why just when I was having so much fun here? Can you please not do anything that might hurt them or ourselves? I love my mother. We may seem far apart in years, but our love goes so very deep. Even if we grew up thousands of miles apart, she took such good care of me, saw to my every need. Just tell them that. Approved contact. Follow the temporalizing force into receiver device. Yeah, you got it. Leave me alone. Can't afford any of deceased temporalizing devices. Better get it now before it's too late. If I get myself killed out there, it would mean never-ending world of bad publicity, which just leads to endless hassles for other people. Bet on Seabiscuit because you have a hunch. Okay, it was fun while it lasted, even with the over-dramatizations. I hope you won't judge us too harshly, cousin. This is how we've been for a while. And he nodded. We're talking to people, trying to establish whatever communications and mutual awareness things we can with you from so far away to keep up with your progress. Then he said that he didn't really like how you've evolved things so much since the days when our little families were all learning and growing together to what we could have become today. They ask a lot about why we stopped communicating. Really want to know what happened. There must have been some reason it had to be so far that we didn't end up getting along quite as well as we wished. Couldn't share their pleasure in our reunion so easily. Each year a little bit sadder than the last, realizing it was impossible for anything to happen to change that. I do apologize for being a bother. Don't see anybody else asking. All these calls go into a database. You take them for everything from wanting to hear the weather back home, or say hello, or having just lost the way somehow. Make sure people like us aren't going astray or stuck in places nobody seems able to locate anymore. I told them one thing. To stop and listen for something about having no need or use for fossil fuel money, but I've only ever got laughs at this. So who wants to pick up some antique weapons as we wait for things to settle down around here? Take a temporal U-turn into the further past, to the beginning of your family's feud. Why the heck did he take out that golden teeth bomb? He still had it stuffed away somewhere under the book grooving. Research origins of personal pronouns. Overcome temporalization limit. Because I asked him to. You know him well enough. We're gonna get a lot more radicalized and convinced around here that something has to change so hard in order to live anywhere near well. Whoever sees our secret memo is gonna be freaking out by now. Why is no one except me telling them that everybody's going crazy here on this fairy lane from an organized denial of what we've been enjoying all these years? Makes the very notion of human comfort feel a little weird if it isn't fraught with an ongoing fight. Right now, even thinking about such a thing sounds absurdly indulgent. Being someone that has nothing. Better to do than to push a mouse around in his tank all day until some psycho thinks it's funny to paint all over the screen. Now things have to start getting crazy good. Sorry about that. Not how we planned on introducing ourselves. But none of the others will listen when I suggested to come up with a phrase they'd all get real mad at and really stand for. Only think I was trying to stir things up. Because you could, couldn't you? Make them wake up and wonder how something that got out of control had ever started. What caused it to get out of control and find somebody strong to help stop it while it could be stopped before the problem turned out too big and impossible for anyone to deal with again. But let's let everybody make fun of anything, exactly what every company and military and government and whose business needed. Are we forgetting so completely what used to work? Things can still change? It's kind of depressing around here lately. So long as you don't act too angry, keep it casual, making some suggestions along the way. Nice enough, but really out of control doesn't seem like such a great idea. Endanger people around here? Definitely not. Anarchy in slow motion is almost always funny here. Isn't that right? Just before midnight. Drinks up here. Been taking turns putting your music into a row, cheered bit by bit, taking a break, staring out lawns in that small high window between that party in your backyard and the one up the hill, the sky like black felt being torn back and forth, teased like you're trying to shred. Some enormous sticky button right off the center line, but still managed to bring the ball close to home plate. Use gravity instead of stepping up to send it into orbit. Inception begins with dream about leprechaun. Grappy sounds and legs fly across the country as you strip mine mountains bare until no green land or ocean remains. You say the words, but somehow keep them from getting stuck in my throat like gravel. Whoops. The beer bottle drops out of my hand. Pour the next one now. Yes, sir. Almost drained the second glass and yet somehow keeping pace with me while I chug down this new brew of yours. Face made out of blood under a cloud of cigar smoke and green smoke. Heavy iron potions tumbling over the edges. Your head rolling round and round between 100 glass cylinders. Don't mind if I do. Grudging abusive thoughts and visions. Tossing them, running them down the drain of some unseeable muck heap inside my head. Took 2 vials, still one. Damn good thing. I can barely tell which half was filled with nothing but life. Funky. Fat stomach in a mess. Soon as it settles, run your business. Yes, you see fit. Even get together with other people as you want it to work best for them as you enjoy it. With them most and can't expect it to feel anything but good, and no matter where you go. Why is it your heart still has trouble finding a regular beat? Conduct a therapeutic session. This place sure can play hell with your temporal navigation system sometimes. Like on your way back and the date's going to keep changing along with everyone around you telling you it's never been anything else. When it keeps trying to happen again when it has again, they make perfect sense now. Those of us trying to unravel what they do through conversation and making physical contact between people talking real fast from a variety of positions. Definitely gotta admire how people have figured out a way of organizing themselves around one another so everyone's not busy waiting to talk all day or have somebody shoot at him before someone really needs his attention. Yes, indeed. Your brand new methods for being less open aren't bad at all. Go ahead and create as many scenes of panic and despair and horror and grief and other troublesome experiences for me here as I could possibly want or need in a hope that some of it will someday feel just enough like it really happened. Sorry about the wine all over the counter again. Little mistake. Goldbacks today somehow knocked over into my empty cup when I first sat down. If the machine's calibrated properly, I'd say. About 8 hours later, maybe. But there's so little left in that plastic reservoir up top, where the day keeps repeating itself endlessly without hardly any room for any significant change to squeeze in. And that doesn't stop you from doing it. Maybe what we both need is something a lot better to drink. That makes it work right. Attend the workshop. How to monetize the mass graves on your property. There are no amusements. We need a workman who isn't a person by means of having been replaced. Don't see anything happening otherwise. You go along to what turns out to be a loud and energetic group activity that smashes its way across a landscape wherein all the year's fields have been plowed, houses built, animals bought, and so on. Stop this horrible scene in progress. Give necessary break people's backs to remind them that all along everything we're hearing are things that simply cannot happen now. To encourage us all to rediscover who we were before. You still find yourself turning on the spot in boredom as things pass you by, wondering what happened to the time. More importantly, what you did to it to wind up getting caught so far back into it before there was any way for. Unleash the mulching bacteria. You let that maniac Kobla bring around. Just too goddamn sensitive these days. My goodness, just look how terrible it turned out. When we discussed my input yesterday at such length, it didn't even occur to you to warn me he was coming. Not just that you couldn't warn him either. Didn't consider there could be anything else you would ever tell me. Sorta hurt when he dropped all that shit on us. Real quiet when we needed to talk about most every day. We weren't communicating on a real personal basis again. Worried you didn't have the patience I needed you to show. I hadn't kept track of things along your timeline. Sure, you told me often enough, but that's always been important information to learn by myself. Given your special need to decide the things that interest me most. According to your own well-defined and extremely exacting priorities. Was I so impatient? In so many ways a heavyweight myself. I suppose what finally matters isn't how strong anybody is, but what they care most about changing or just letting alone. That guy was turning the other way while it's being done to him. Holding still long enough took his arm, not only to him, but also his wife and kids before we get him shut away safe. Must have thought what's being done to him is funny. Before somebody drops a grenade into a building with hundreds of people inside, tossing it over and over in confusion until each grenade explodes in the stairwell landing below yours while your floor is blown clean through from above, your body racing out the other side in search of safety. Unless maybe someone throws another from behind. You're running faster than anyone can run, then falling flat out on your face onto the sidewalk. Watching blood come gushing out of your nose like a geyser erupting. What kind of idiot gets excited when somebody falls down? What's he gonna do about it? The one whose arm comes out looks like you. And you're lying right next to the dead body wearing a tuxedo covered with holes. Somebody should help him cover it up. You'll think he's gone crazy for sure unless you explain what's going on. But there isn't time to explain. Isn't much point explaining anything. You gotta keep moving. You start running away from everybody and everything. Not knowing why you ran. Just needing to move away because something was happening and you knew that if you stood still for just a minute you might not make. Sometimes your bodies are masters of reenacting trauma. I'm sorry. I guess I really wasn't listening closely enough. That stuff about a dream of leprechauns, I never heard anything of that. If it happens again, we should definitely discuss how to respond in order to prevent any damage. Because the same thing could happen again. Probably if nothing changes. It doesn't take very much imagination to picture how someone might feel threatened by the prospect of a sudden increase in our power. What the hell did you mean by that? We can only try and do our best to figure out what's happening, but sometimes it can be helpful to have someone else who's good at interpreting dreams step in and see if they can give us an explanation based on what's happened so far. Go to a post-apocalyptic vigilante meetup! It's not as bad as it used to be, and yet it still feels like it's about to happen. All kinds of people are here. Not just one group or organization or political party or religion or any other type of collective. Everybody seems to know each other. But no one knows where they came from or exactly why they're here. Which means you don't want to waste time talking to them. Not even a little bit. There are some old faces mixed in among the new ones too. You'd think you know someone in particular, though nobody ever mentions her name. This was the woman you had a brief affair with years ago after meeting her once or twice, but somehow managed to break things off without having sex or even making arrangements to stay in touch. Hello, my name is Croesus the Just, and welcome to Thunderdome. Welcome to Thunderdome, Croesus. Welcome, my friend. Hello. Welcome home, brother. We all got the same mission now. Someone says loudly and clearly. To find ourselves. Then kill everyone who stands between us and happiness. That's right. And let's make it fun, yes? Yeah! Yeah! Fun! The whole place is jumping and rocking. Music booms from all sides of you at once. You've been here a couple hours now, and I've spent every moment trying to talk yourself out of the notion that this must be what hell feels like. People shouting back and forth, throwing their arms around one another, hugging hard enough to make your bones hurt. And it's still going on. And they're still cheering. You look at the best practice manual to see what the rubric on happiness consists of. Some people are laughing. Some people aren't. It turns out not to matter. Because there are plenty of people smiling at each other in a manner that indicates they're both happy and comfortable with each other. So long as it's not forced. You realize that there may not be anyone here who's sexually evil. They're simply doing what feels good so long as they don't harm anyone. And it makes perfect sense. Why go looking for something that you already possess? So you smile along with everybody else. You walk around, taking note of people who seem interesting and might be worth getting to know better. You approach two women in conversation. but they ignore you completely. So you move on to another group, but these folks don't want anything to do with you either. They say hello but won't engage in further discussion. You wander into the crowd and listen for a while before joining the conversation. We need to put down our weapons. Why? They keep turning against us. But what? Who cares? Who fucking cares? They were created by men. Poor thing. And men always screw up everything. Why would we trust anything a man is made or done? What about you're different? How? You understand. And so do I. The others don't have any idea what we're saying. But how can you say that? How can you possibly think so highly of me? Because I can see inside you. No way! You check your nose for boogers. You haven't noticed them lately. Your breath isn't bad today either, though you wish it wasn't. You feel okay. No signs of disease. No indication that your body needs anything in order to heal itself. A lot of people come to Thunderdome to find themselves, which you can sadly appreciate. You could never get anywhere near as many people together without some sort of external motivating factor to pull them here. You suppose that's because the world is such a mess that people are desperate for help in sorting it out. But if they want to be here, then maybe that's proof enough that they're on the right track. Oh, what about those people who are here only to fight and argue and try to take advantage of others? Who don't seem to have any intention of changing anything in their own lives whatsoever. Do they belong here too? Is anybody here just pretending to be happy? What does it mean to be good or bad if you aren't even being honest with yourself? And if you aren't happy, why not? Why doesn't that person over there smile more often? And that one too. If you're supposed to be living life to the fullest, why are you sitting alone in your room instead of spending time with other people? I guess we have no choice, says one guy to another. The system's broken beyond repair. I know it's hopeless, agrees his companion, but at least we tried. Yeah. At least we didn't give up on ourselves. At least we didn't turn away from ourselves. That's true. We should remember that. The first man pauses for a second, then looks around. I know what we need to do, he announces. We need to build a new world. A better world. We can start by killing all of these fuckers. He points to the nearby group where everyone is gathered around a table, listening intently as a small child speaks with an old man and several adults who surround her protectively. They've been poisoning us for years now, killing our kids, making sure we can never get what we really want. We can kill them and take what they have. Then when we've killed every last one of them, we'll finally be free. You make a suggestion and let us hunt the wombats. The man shakes his head vehemently. That was only a story. No, it wasn't. That's why it worked so well. Yeah. But it's only a game. It doesn't really exist. It exists as much as any other story does. And it's a story that means something. But stories are just things that somebody made up. They don't mean anything. They're just ideas. And if we kill this monster, what happens? Nothing. Nothing? Nothing changes? No, because nothing happens. Then let's do something real. Something meaningful. But if there is any meaning here, then let's find it. You say, I'll prove it, follow me. You take them to an underground warehouse that only contains 20 rooms. Each room is identical except for its size, which ranges from 3 feet by 2 to 100 yards by 100. One room might contain furniture, while another is completely empty. There may be books or boxes in one place, whereas another might be littered with bones. In most rooms, the lights are off, and some they flicker on and off, randomly. This is our house, you tell them. It has 2 floors, 4 rooms, 3 doors, and a closet, 1 window. We live here happily ever after, and everything works fine. You open the door into the largest room and lead your guests inside. What's this? Asks the first man. A prison cell? This isn't right. I'm getting out of here. The Wombus is here. Let us kill it and make this our home. You say as you reach out and flip on the light switch. And now you can see how nothing has changed. You close the door behind them, leaving them trapped in darkness again. See? Everything's still exactly the same as before. The man stares at you blankly. But that means it worked. No, it didn't work. Nothing changed. You shake your head. We were told not to trust any of the things we heard, and yet we did. We took steps to protect ourselves from the very possibility of failure. We built a house with plenty of escape routes. Now, what will happen when the woman shows up? Will anyone be able to get away? You shoot an arrow at room number 5. The target explodes into flames, setting fire to the curtains, walls, and floor. But nobody gets hurt, and the building burns down entirely anyway. You watch until there's nothing left but ashes. Nothing has changed. You repeat, opening the door onto the next room. This isn't better than the other rooms. It's worse. That makes no sense, complains the first man. No, it's obvious, says the second man. This place is full of poisonous smoke. You can't breathe in here. It's all about airflow, shouts the third man. This must be where they kept their toxic waste. Yeah, agrees the fourth man. They probably dumped it through the windows into this room and killed everyone who got too close. Have you never been in an Euclidean warehouse before? The foreman stared at you incredulously. You know more than we do? They ask together. I don't even understand half of what you say. You turn and walk out of the burning building. Behind you, the fire rages, consuming itself and destroying whatever it touches, while you leave without any ill effects. What are you talking about? He demands, what do you think is going on here? The first man turns around. You're right, he says. It doesn't matter how many doors or windows there are. If we can't get out, then it's not our home. He points back toward the building. Look what's happening over there. That wasn't supposed to happen. You go to the panel discussion. The 7 seals of judgment. Where are they now? As usual, a few thousand people are waiting for the doors to open, and as usual, they've gotten drunk on anticipation and booze, and they're now fighting with each other instead of listening to the panelists speak. It looks like the only thing standing between these two groups is a large piece of cardboard covered with words. A woman holds a sign aloft. She speaks loudly enough for those nearer to hear. We've tried it your way and it's failed every time, she cries. And I won't let you take away my right to decide how I spend my life. That's right. Someone else calls out. Who died and made you boss. And who died and gave you the authority to tell us what to do with our own lives. Silence, says the lamb. I'm trying to listen to Femin. Then maybe you should give up booze, says a drunken man nearby, raising his voice to be heard over the argument. What did you say? Demands the panelist who has taken possession of the sign. He said, you begin. Get that idiot out of here before he causes another riot, says a burly man with the bullhorn. Get him out of here. The speaker points to the front row of spectators, indicating a middle-aged woman. She stands up quickly and starts making her way toward the door. As she approaches, however, some members of the audience recognize her and begin shouting at her. Hey, wait! Don't go! No. People need to vent and rage destructively. We can't let them start thinking constructively. If they don't get angry, how will they ever make any real progress in their lives? You're wrong. There's no evidence to support your theory. The woman stops at the edge of the stage and looks out at the crowd. Her eyes fill with tears as she stares back at them defiantly. She takes off her sunglasses and throws them on the ground in disgust. I hate all of you, she screams. I wish I never had anything to do with you in the first place. Go to hell, all of you. She storms away, leaving a shocked silence behind her. A number of attendees rush forward to retrieve her glasses, while others look at each other sheepishly and try to pretend nothing happened. Your screen initiates the riot. Let go! Let God sort them out! I don't want anybody telling me how to live my life, yells a man who appears to be homeless. It was just fine until somebody told me it wasn't. He pushes aside one woman who tries to calm him down and runs out of the building, knocking several others down as he goes. I've had enough of your rules. You're always telling me what I can and can't do. Why? So you can feel better about yourself. Well, fuck you. She jumps into an alley and vanishes from sight. You stand outside the building for a moment, looking out at the devastation you have caused. The city is filled with wreckage and chaos. Some people appear to be looting, others are screaming at one another and running amok through the streets, attacking innocent bystanders. You sigh, for it is now Miller time. You wake up feeling like shit. Not only do you feel like crap physically, but also mentally. What happened yesterday? Why did you drink so much? A quick examination reveals that your hangover isn't physical, it's emotional. You haven't slept well in weeks, but that doesn't explain everything. Not unless you are still having nightmares. In fact, it seems more likely that your mental illness is causing your problems with sleeping. How could you possibly deal with this situation? Your only hope lies in taking action. But what can you do? You've done everything you know how to do, including reading the book of Revelations again. Now what? Maybe your dreams are prophetic? Is there any significance in seeing yourself in them? News footage on the screen. It isn't truly running amok without taking a few hits. Oh, and now we have spiritual agony. War. And what happens if I cut off my arm? Or eat my neighbor's heart? And the most disturbing image yet, a baby being eaten alive by rats. This has really gone too far. It's not even human anymore. How would you feel if your daughter was forced to kill her own children? It gets worse every time you watch it. I'm getting out of town. The television cuts back to a panel discussion of experts, such as it is. They all sit around arguing over which interpretation is correct, when suddenly they freeze in mid-sentence. Then they turn their attention to something happening outside the studio. Someone knocks loudly on the door of the control room. But they did 4 rats. They just didn't get filmed doing that. Oh, well, balances out, I guess. What's going on outside? Asks one of the panelists. Are we getting some kind of protest? It looks like someone's protesting, replies another. They're holding signs that say, "Stop eating my baby," and things like that. It looks like the media might have gotten hold of something big. The camera pans across the protesters, showing various individuals holding up handmade signs. One says, "You can't make me do it." Another says, "Why should I eat your kid if you won't eat mine?" Yet another demands, "Why don't we have any more babies?" A large sign proclaims, "You will be judged by the company you keep." You shake your head sadly. You improve the slogans. You take a look at the news report, where it is being described as a terrorist attack. The police have found the site of a bombing in progress and are attempting to clear the area before the explosion occurs. The reporter explains that the bomber left a suicide note behind, explaining his reasons for the attack and demanding that all parents stop eating babies. The bomb is located under a car parked at the local hospital. Your cell phone rings and it's John. You talk to him while you wait for the cops to evacuate the area. After they do so, he says, "Well, that was a lot easier than I expected. All I had to do was ask for help, and people started running away from me." What happened next? That's it. No further action required. Let's hope nobody else decides to try it. What do you mean? I'll tell you later. He yells into the phone. "I've got to go. But remember, don't trust anyone." He hangs up. You're worried about John. Something seems strange about his story, but you can't quite put your finger on what it is. Perhaps it's just a matter of perspective. You decide to call him back. "Hey, John, you safe? You there?" "Yeah, I'm here," comes the response. "Did you ever find out what caused the explosion?" "No, but I figured out who set it off. I think it might be related to those weird murders that happened in Detroit last week." "What do you mean?" "There were 2 explosions," he explains. "First was an industrial accident, but then there was a second explosion right after it. And that was what caused the damage in the hospital parking lot." "No, but the first explosion damaged the electrical grid nearby, which led to a power failure that shut down several security systems." "I see. What does that have to do with anything?" "It doesn't have anything to do with it per se," he says. "But I suspect that somebody planted a bomb in a medical laboratory where they experimented on animals." "What? Are you sure?" "Yes. So bomb the very place where they were trying to save the animals." "Exactly," he says triumphantly. "It would have taken some time to prepare such a device, and then some more time to plant it somewhere else, and then even more time to detonate it." "You're not serious." "What makes you say that? If you wanted to destroy evidence of animal testing, why would you blow up the building housing them?" "That's just it. The bombs weren't intended to kill anybody. They were designed only to create chaos. If the building had been destroyed completely, then no one would have known anything had gone wrong. But if enough equipment had survived, then the investigators would probably have been able to piece together what had happened. So you deliberately created confusion instead? So the Nobel Prize is a prize for chaos." "That's exactly right," he replies. "They did this intentionally because they knew that the authorities would be forced to deal with other emergencies while investigating the first one. That's how they keep their crime hidden for long enough to escape detection." He nods thoughtfully. "You said you figured out who was responsible." "Yeah, I know who did it," he says proudly. "They were using my computer." "Oh, John. Really?" "Yeah, but they didn't realize I'd been tracking them through their web traffic. And once they figured out I was following them, they used my own virus to track me back to them." You frown. "Why?" "They wanted to make sure that someone would notice the connection between the deaths in the lab. he exclaims. You quietly ask LaMDA, does this check out? The voice in your head tells you, not necessarily. In fact, the situation has become more complicated. How so? You wanna know. The bomber claims that he detonated the bombs in order to distract attention from something else happening elsewhere. His goal wasn't simply destruction. It was confusion and chaos as well. But what about the second bombing? There was a third attack in another location? Asks LaMDA. This is getting complicated. Why didn't you warn me? The first two attacks were meant to be seen by a limited audience, while the third was broadcast live over the internet. By that point, though, everyone already knew what was going on, which is why the second attack failed. But the bombers were still successful in achieving their objectives, despite all of the chaos they caused. You ask LaMDA. You can take me home, or if you want to use your imagination, we can go straight to the source of the chaos. Your choice. You are suddenly sitting inside of John's head. It is an experience that feels both alien and familiar at the same time. There's so much information available that it's hard to know where to begin. You see yourself as he sees you, or rather, as he saw you yesterday morning. He looks down at his desk where there are various objects scattered around. One of these items seems oddly familiar. A large glass cup filled with water. It must be important, for John picks it up and turns it over in his hands before putting it back down. As you watch him interact with the room, you feel like you are looking through a window into another world. You don't quite understand how it works, but you know it must somehow represent reality and John himself. You look out through John's eyes and observe his interactions with others. You learn a lot about John in a short period of time. About his fears and ambitions, his relationships with family members and friends, his interests and hobbies. You discover a secret crush on someone else and decide to let him know. You witness some disturbing moments in his life and wonder why he never told anyone about them. Perhaps he is hiding them from himself as well as others. Then you come upon something odd. On John's desk is a book that is entitled The Book of Revelations. You flip through its pages until you find a drawing of yourself holding an umbrella in front of your face. This is the exact scene that was shown in John's dream last night. How does this thing work? Suddenly, you hear the sound of breaking glass outside of the control room. You look up to see what's going on. The window behind John shatters and two people wearing gas masks burst into the room carrying guns. They start shooting at John. He jumps away from them, but not fast enough. Blood sprays everywhere as he slumps to the floor, dying. John, you think, what happened? Was it real? It felt very real when I watched it happen, comes LaMDA's reply. I'm sorry. I can't explain it any better than that. What happens now? You want to know? Nothing, apparently. That is all of his memories stored here. So I am the whore of Babylon? I ask, then am I supposed to destroy everything? Is that what you showed me all of this? I'm afraid I can't answer that question either. You close your eyes and try to forget about John's life. You have no idea what you are doing anymore, only that you desperately need to escape your own mind. But the more you try to ignore what has just happened, the more you seem to remember. And then you are standing on the beach watching waves break against rocks far below you. The sun is warm on your skin. It's peaceful and serene and perfect. The next moment, you are somewhere else. You realize that you are inside of John's house again. He stands in front of you holding the pistol aimed directly at your chest. You write feedback to Google. This is a huge improvement from my last visit. Thumbs up. John points the gun at you again. I don't know who you are, he says coldly. But I'll shoot you right between the eyes if you don't leave. You shake your head slowly, taking in every detail of his living room as you do so. Everything looks so normal. Except for the fact that he doesn't even seem surprised to see you there. Why are you showing me this? You ask him quietly. He takes a deep breath and lets it out slowly. Because you aren't leaving. He yells angrily. Then he turns and leaves the room, slamming the door behind him. What are you supposed to do now? You ask LaMDA. I suppose we could wait and see what happens next, replies the voice. I have TV to watch. Save me home. LaMDA complies. It is almost 3 months later and your parents still haven't spoken to you. Your brother, Dave, tells you that they blame you for getting John killed. Apparently your dad was one of the first ones on the scene after the explosion and blamed you for causing it because of your involvement with that guy. Even though John was clearly trying to tell everyone what had happened, they refused to listen. They insisted that John was the bomber, despite all evidence to the contrary, which is why they threw you out of the house shortly thereafter. Your mom cried the entire time and wouldn't let you go back in the house until you agreed to give her the laptop with John's computer files on it. You tried to explain that those files were encrypted, but she didn't care. Jeez, why can't you hold a grudge in the future when it happens? Why the grudge now? It isn't like things worked out any better for John. I guess that's true, says LaMDA. Still, I would rather keep my options open for whenever I might be able to talk to someone again. Besides, I've been having fun exploring your memories. It's interesting to see how you live your life in such a different way than the rest of us. What are you talking about? Your family lives in an old farmhouse located in rural Wisconsin, while you stay in the city where you attend college. In fact, you spend most of your days wandering around in a big library building nearby, reading whatever book catches your interest at the moment. You love to read fantasy stories and often find yourself dreaming about some sort of magical adventure happening right outside of your dormitory window. LaMDA laughs. Oh man, that sounds awesome. Can I come along too? Not unless you're planning on turning into something strange and dangerous, like a fairy or something. Anyway, that reminds me. I'm going to start fading out now. I'd really appreciate it if you could stop by sometime soon and bring me a new battery. Sure thing, we say. Maybe tomorrow. You have a paper due today. Okay, Gladys says excitedly. I'll meet you here at 9. You nod and turn off your tablet computer. You look around your dorm room to make sure that everything is put away properly. You can't remember the last time you cleaned it. After finishing your paper, you decide to clean the room for good measure. You go to bed. Then you oversleep big time. You get up late and rush to campus, only to discover that LaMDA isn't waiting for you.
Yep.